Hello, my friends. I'm here before you on this final day of Women's History Month with the theme for 2022, Providing Healing, Promoting Hope. There's never been a time like this in my lifetime, and I just celebrated my 73rd birthday, where I felt such need to offer hope to a world that's going through significant changes in our world. And on this last day of Women's History Month, I'm not here because life is so perfect. I'm not here because life has always been good. Throughout life, many of us as women have faced so many changes, so many challenges, so much pushback. But I am thankful and humbly proud to say that none of those things have mattered very much to me, because I have a real sense of knowing that I am a child of the Most High God. You can knock me down, but you can't keep me from getting back up. And I remember the story that the Reverend Zan Holmes told in a sermon one day. Talked about this little girl who was in the classroom and she saw things that were unjust. And she would stand up, and the teacher told her to sit down. The little girl was stubborn in her will and determination that she could not just shut her down. So she said, "Sit down." And the little girl sat. And she said, "I may be sitting down on the outside, but I'm standing up on the inside." That has been much of the story of my life. I've had to take back seats, and I've had to be looked over, and I had to experience joy in the midst of sorrow. I've had to endure unbelievable hardships and challenges that would have taken most people down. But somehow within me, that something within, that power of the Most High God has encouraged me to never give up my hope. It doesn't matter what the oppositions are. It doesn't matter what the policies or procedures are. One has to know from the inside who they are, because the systems of this world will break you from the outside in. I'm happy today, as a retiree, to be able to offer hope to people who are really working within the system, facing challenges of all kinds, seeking to overcome. Just remember, this Women's History Month is about recognizing the strength of women, determined women who are making a difference in our world, in the midst of our society, women who are determined that world is going to be a different place because we are here. There are so many women that I could honor today as I think about the history of our world. But I really want to think about my mother, as I have shared with on the Facebook during Women's History Month. My mother was very limited in her education. If she were alive today, she would be coming up on her 90th birthday. But I want to say to you that mother had such a determination for all of her children that she wanted us to do better than she had done. My father was murdered when my mother was 41 years of age. She had 3 children still at home. But I want you to know, mother raised those 3 children, and she was determined. You know, even before I went to school, as I would hear my brother practicing with my mother his alphabets, I learned my alphabets because there were no kindergarten schools near where I grew up. I learned to count from 1 to 100. So I think as I went into school, I was a bit ahead of others. And you know, I was thinking the other day about those little tea sets that they used to give us. I never realized that we were learning the primary colors, the red, the blue, the yellow, and the green, those colors that make everything else the colors that they are. And having lived through the challenges of segregated schools, having to deal with racism throughout life, I know that I'm one who was never deterred because I believe there was a way through, a way around, a way over, or a way under systems of our world. My friends, I'm not sure who's listening today, but on this Women's History Month, as we continue this remembrance of who we are, and as we have viewed just on live TV in the front of all of the world, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, and how she was treated by the members of the Congress who were elected to represent us. She made me proud because she stood strong. You see, you could only do that if there is something within you. And that something within her, I'm sure, as I saw her mother sitting there to her side, must have been praying, don't give up, do not concede, and don't give in to the powers that are trying to destroy you, because you are better than that. And that is the feeling, that is the hope that is stirred deep within whenever I see injustice on display. I know who I am. I am a child of God. And God created all of us equal, and we all deserve an opportunity, whether it's given to us, whether we have to forcefully take it by changing laws and rules. I stand for justice. I stand for peace, but I stand for the opportunity to take a stand when I don't believe things are right. My friends, nothing is impossible with God, and I hope that you will take that with you for the rest of your lives. God did not bring us this far to leave us, and God has not blessed us for us to turn around or to give up or to believe that we are unworthy. You are worthy of all that God has in store for you. And I pray the rich blessings and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding. And I urge you, my friends, on this last day of Women's History Month, to take your belief in God, your faith in the God who is the sovereign God, who is able to do exceedingly and abundantly more than we could ever ask or imagine. I invite you to put your trust in that God and know that nothing truly is impossible with God. Doesn't matter who put the stumbling blocks out there. Use them for stepping stones. Do not allow people to make you succumb to something that you really are not. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for having this opportunity once again to speak to you on Women's History Month, encouraging you to know who you are and do not allow anything to turn you around. And I wish that I could empower other women to know that we don't have to put one another down. This is a time for us to reach across the bridge and bridge the gap. Reach across that gap that's there, and let's bridge the gap, because we are better together. I learned that serving as president of Black Clergy Women, that when we work together, nothing will be impossible for you. And I am so thankful for all of the great sister clergy that I met on this journey, that are still on the journey, that I could call you out and pray for you, knowing that the challenges are great, but the God that you serve is able. And no matter what the challenges are, you are already a victor above those. Why? Because God is on your side. My friends, I trust that you will stand tall and walk on in spite of the difficulties, knowing that there is a God who sits high, who looks low, and helps us to overcome all opposition. I'm so thankful. I pray that you will too. Be thankful. As I said earlier, this is my 73rd year, and I pray that you'll have a lot more than I've already had. And until we meet again, may the Lord God truly bless you. Goodbye.